Renee Good was brutally executed in Minneapolis last night, serving in defense and protection of our brothers and sisters that have been snatched off the street like roadkill by ICE. But let's just get into it. When I found out that Renee was white, my heart still broke equally as much, because the police and ICE need to stop killing everyone regardless of their race. However, traditionally, when atrocities that usually happen towards Black and brown people start to happen towards white people, policies start to change. So maybe this woman's brutal, horrible, atrocious, egregious, and unlawful murder cannot be in vain, and will push forward a long-standing conversation of what is lawful force. Let me give you some examples of how harms experienced by Black people and minorities are often ignored, normalized, and dismissed until those same harms affect white people. 1. Y'all remember stop and frisk and Fourth Amendment protections? Black and Latino communities complained for decades about unconstitutional stops, largely upheld aggressive policing as reasonable. But when stop and frisk expanded into white neighborhoods and affected professionals and tourists, public opinion shifted. Result: political pressure, judicial skepticism, and eventual rollbacks, e.g., example, Floyd versus City of New York. 2nd, crack versus powder cocaine sentencing. Crack cocaine laws devastated Black communities starting in the 1980s. Mandatory minimums were upheld despite overwhelming racial disparities. And as the opioid crisis hit white, rural, and suburban communities, drug addiction was reframed as a public health issue. Result: sentencing reforms, diversion programs, and the Fair Sentencing Act. Same drugs, different defendants, different empathy. If you're still not convinced, because I'm a woman of the people, I'll give you more examples. Free speech and protests. Black activists, civil rights era, Black Panthers, BLM, were surveilled, jailed, and killed for protest activity. Courts often allowed repression under public safety or order. When white anti-war protesters in the 1960s or later, conservative protesters were arrested, courts expanded First Amendment protections. Example, Tinker v. Des Moines involved white students protesting the Vietnam War. I feel like you're still not convinced. Let me keep going. Voting right protections. Black voters faced suppression for over a century. Courts tolerated poll taxes, literacy tests, gerrymandering until white voters were affected. Some modern voter ID challenges gained traction only when white elderly voters and rural populations were disenfranchised. Courts often cited burdens on all voters rather than racial discrimination alone. I'm still going. School discipline and zero tolerance policies. Black students were disproportionately suspended and expelled for decades. Little legal intervention. When zero tolerance policies began affecting white suburban students, especially those with disabilities, lawsuits and reforms followed. IDEA and due process protections gained traction all throughout these cases. For months, for years, there have been videos circulating online of ICE agents snatching people off the street, grabbing Latino people off the streets, off sidewalks, off workplaces, of their homes. They have been evil people for a minute. Hopefully this woman's death is not in vain, because she's a rider and we need justice for her.